So we live. We are live, my brother. We are live. So
Well,
with that being said, it's the Spotlight Sports Talk. What is going on, Dante? We're about to talk about a lot of stuff that's going on in sports, my brother. It's about to be a lot that goes on in sports. Um, listen, I'll listen. You can go first, man. It doesn't matter to me. What do
man,
you want to talk about right now, man? Like, just get
sports
on it.
sports start to get a little bit more frustrating than marriage. It's taking a lot for me to say that because marriage is very frustrating. I love my wife to death, but marriage is frustrating. Sports is starting to frustrate me more than that, man. For real, man. It's crazy, right? Because today, right, pick a sport. You pick a sport, we got something to talk about. You can pick any sport. You
Right.
can pick golf. I don't even know nothing about golf, but I'm pretty sure I could look something up about something that's happening in golf. This is crazy, man. About golf, but I'm pretty sure I could look.
But yeah, well, what you want to get into? Like, what you want to get into? Because me personally, I really want to get into this basketball before we just got on the air. I do want to talk about what is going on with this whole thing you're hearing about this trade. What are we talking about here?
So, big game, right? The Lakers are trying to push for a three-team trade, but from what I'm seeing, it won't go down the way they think it's going to go down. Because, all right, everybody's saying everybody expects Anthony Davis to go to the Lakers.
Right.
Nah, Boston is already in talks with Anthony Davis as far as him coming there. Now, what they're going to give up to get him, I don't know. I don't know. But, I mean, like, who on the Lakers, I mean, who on Boston, I mean, who equals up the value of Anthony Davis? Who equals up to Anthony Davis' value?
You talk about as far as for trading to get him to Boston.
Yeah,
The only person I can really think of is Kyrie Irving.
yeah. Now, but the thing is though, like the way Boston is looking at it is okay. Now it's a problem in Boston. You know, Boston ain't the same Boston team that they was last year, and the reason why is because when Gordon Hayward got hurt, you could tell this year that it took two steps away from him. You know, that injury put a lot on him. He doesn't even play the same, you know. And then on top of that, last year Boston was a team playing they played as a team. Even the year before that, they played as a team. This year though, they don't do that. This year they depend mainly on Kyrie and Jason Tatum to score. Those the only two they depend on to score. You know, with Jason Tatum with his stock going up or whatever, and he constantly, you know, he I mean he grind, he does what Jason Tatum do. You know, so now like they depend on him more to score. You know, which last year and even the year before that, it wasn't like that. You know, one night you might have Jason Tatum that just go off. You know, next night you might got Jalen Brown just go off. And then all of a sudden you got Terry Rozier go off about three straight games straight. You know what I'm saying? So like,
And knowing the fact that Terry Rozier did break his stock up a little better after what happened with the playoffs and Kyrie being out for the year. So I mean, even with Rozier, he could probably still keep his stock up if you think about it. Like I just
exactly.
so with this whole thing, I mean, you can put some players into this trade with Kyrie Irving to get Anthony Davis, but you don't want to trade away your whole team just for one player. You get what I'm saying? So you guys just
Exactly.
gotta be smart and strategic about it.
Like my thing is, if you have a good team, is it worth breaking that good team up for one player? Because that one player could kill the chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like to me, I just feel like if Boston was to make that move, to me, I feel like that'd be like like right now because they in panic attack right now. Like Boston is like 10-10 right now. Like they panicking right now. They struggling. They're not playing the same way that they supposed to be playing. You know, so right now I feel like they I mean They want to solidify their spot coming out the East, you know, which right now, like, in the beginning of the season, everybody picked Boston. A lot of people picked Boston to come out the East, you know.
I did. I was one of those that picked Boston out the East.
But right now, on paper, it's not looking like that. Right now, it's looking like either Toronto or Milwaukee. But the thing is, Toronto do this every year. Their first half of the season is always a beast. They come out number one majority of the years, and then all of a sudden, then they just decline, you know. But if Boston was to get rid of a few players, you know, because everybody plays a role on this team, you know what I'm saying? If Boston was to get rid of a few players just to get AD, I just feel like that's somewhat of a desperate move. That's a panic move. You know what I'm saying? Like we're in panic mode right now. You know, we need somebody. We need somebody else. We need another scorer. You know, but why would you need another scorer when the same people that scored last year, you still have them? You know what I'm saying? The same people that scored last year, you still have them. You know, even the one that was hurt, he's back now. Gordon Hayward, he's back now, and he's a hell of a scorer. You know, so like I don't really understand that right there. You know, and then you got Bradley Beal, he's asking for a trade. That hurts my heart. That hurts my heart. Because for any Washington Wizards fan, y'all know we don't want to get rid of Bradley Beal. We'd rather get rid of John Wall. I'd rather get rid of John Wall than Bradley Beal, you know. But Bradley Beal asking for a trade, and you know what the first team, man, I ain't even going to say team. I'm going to say player. Because he's the most powerful player in the NBA. He's probably the most powerful athlete in sports right now. And as soon as he found out Bradley Beal asked for a trade, what'd he do? He went and asked Magic, LeBron James, went and asked, let's go get him. You know? Which, to be honest, Lakers could use him, and he would fit perfect with them. He would fit perfect.
I agree. I just feel like but who would you trade if you were the Lakers? Who would you trade for Bradley Beal? Because I really like Kuzma. I don't want to trade Kuzma. Kuzma's a great player. I mean, you could trade a Caldwell Pope for him. I mean.
I know who he would give up though. I know who he would give up. He would give up Brandon Ingram. I know. I kind of like. From why I just felt like the Lakers was dumb anyway for getting rid of Julius Randle.
Yeah, I thought that was dumb too. I really thought that was messed up.
But like, and then like the Lakers, I mean, they're not playing good at all. You know, they're not playing good at all. You know,
it's a lot of teams in the West that's not playing great.
Yeah, like tonight the Lakers got Denver. Now they beat Denver the first game, but that was in LA. Now they got to go to Denver. It's hard to beat Denver in Denver.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's very hard to beat Denver in Denver. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but, like, I don't know, like, the chemistry with them is not clicking. And, I mean, I think that is mainly because you got somebody, I think people are intimidated over LeBron. I think the young boys is intimidated over LeBron, you know, scared to play their game with him, you know. I mean, and for real, and if LeBron was smart, instead of him being a closer, he would let Kuzma close. The Kuzma is the perfect clutch player. He's the perfect closer, you know. But like, if they was to go get Bradley Beal, you can't get no better closer than that. When it's crunch time, you can't get a better shooter than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I completely agree.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's just I don't know, man. Like, you know, like with the Anthony Davis thing, you know, like, and he asked for a trade. Like both of these, Bradley Beal and Anthony Davis both asked to be traded. You know, so you know, it's kind of different right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, if LeBron, and notice I say LeBron instead of the Lakers. I'm gonna say LeBron. If LeBron end up pulling that off and getting both of them, then that whole talk with KD going to the Lakers next, you know what I'm saying? Like, that whole rumor right there is out the picture.
Right, and I have to agree to this. It's just like the NBA has a lot going on for it right now because last night, because I do want to switch topics. Because Like, this is my question to you. Now, we know James Harden scored 54 points last night in the loss versus the Wizards. So, what was better? The loss with 54 points or the Wizards getting the win? Because me personally, I feel like it's better that the Wizards got the win, because how can you be proud of scoring 54 points and losing? You can't.
Exactly.
I can't be happy with myself as a former basketball player and a former coach. I wouldn't be happy with that.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be happy with that. That's just something that I would have like an issue with, like being myself. James Harden, if you're not trying to win a championship, then what are you playing basketball for? I'm not going to sit here and be happy about scoring 54 points where I know I can score that every night, but in a loss, nah, I can't go with that. I can't.
But the thing is, so here's what made the loss even, like, because it was so many times where they was up. It was so many times when Houston was up and could have closed the game out. But the thing is, though, when you got Bradley Beal and John Wall and they just on, you know, that's like Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum being on at the same night. It's hard to stop them too. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep shooting with you. You feel me? But like with that 54 points, I mean, just think about it though. Like, all right, what if Kobe scored the 81 and lost?
It wouldn't have meant nothing. It wouldn't have meant nothing at all.
That's just like all right, Golden State, yeah, they beat Chicago's record, but it didn't mean nothing because they lost in the finals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, but let me just add this: it's for Anthony Davis is asking for a trade now. He's trying to demand a trade, and the 4 teams on his list is Boston, Lakers, the New York Knicks. And I know you probably might like this. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh my God. You got to be kidding me. I don't the way the Sixers money is set up in salary cap, I can see it happening.
Yeah.
I can see it happening. What I can take, right, like, how would he fit with Embiid? The only way, that's the only thing, like, Embiid put up his numbers, so do Anthony Davis and Ben Simmons.
The same way he fit with Boogie Cousins, but even better.
But Boogie Cousins, it was just him and Boogie Cousins that could actually score. I understand. I can understand what's going on. Finisher Sports. Shout out to Finisher Sports, man. He subscribed to the channel last night, and while I was watching his live stream as well. But shout out to him. He definitely on the channel here. So thanks for being in the chat. I appreciate it a lot. I really do. We really appreciate y'all being here so far. But when Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis was on the same team, what other scorers did they really have? You have Embiid with Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons. All can score the basketball. We all know Ben Simmons' shot is still a little suspect, but let's keep it real. It's going to be too much to share the ball. I think it's going to be too much. It's too much star power.
And that sometimes can hurt a team when you just got too much star power.
Right.
Because I like for anybody watching the show, all right. Golden State. Some people might say Golden State is a lot of firepower. All right. It's a difference between players coming to a team than a team being put together. Golden State was put together.
Exactly. I agree.
Golden State was put together. You feel me? Because let me see. That year that team was put together. Okay, Clay was a beast in college. He was alright in college, but he made a name for himself in the league. Same thing with Steph. Now Steph, okay, he came from Davis. You know, he was the only person on that team. That's why he built up his shot like that. I mean, then look at the daddy is. You know what I'm saying? But that team was built together. But then, like, if you got a team that where you just got people coming into, sometimes that is not going to always going to work. You know, prime example. Look at the Lakers back in the day when they ended up getting Karl Malone, Gary Payton, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just didn't work because you just had too much firepower. You know, I do think though, if AD was to go to Philly and they was to make that work,
that'll be something. That'll be crazy for him to be on the East anyway, because now you got Antetokounmpo over there, you got Kawhi Leonard on the East with Kyrie, and have Anthony Davis. It's like the East is going to be better than the West. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
That's what it's looking like. But this, if he goes to the 76ers and the Sixers can pull that off by keeping Butler, Embiid, and Simmons, they coming out of the East.
Now,
I like it, but I think they'll come out the East and they'll try to go for Anthony Davis.
Now, if he was to mess around and go to New York, it's going to be two more people that's going to roll over there next year. Like, it's people that...
One is Kyrie already, so...
Yeah. Like... So, I mean, I'm curious to see what happens, I'm curious to see what happens with that, man. For real, I hope he just consider joining my Wizards. I hope he, just add us to the list, man, We might not be able to afford you, but, we'll put something on it. You know what I'm saying? We'll put something on it. We'll give you half now and half in, 3 more years.
All right, so we do have sources stating that that speaking of the 76ers, Markelle Fultz is having a shoulder exam. No word on the next steps, according to ESPN. The people from the Philadelphia 76ers said that Markelle Fultz's shoulder will extend through Wednesday in New York with no decision on his next steps and expected until later in the week. League sources told ESPN. Fultz agent and attorney Raymond Brothers informed the Sixers that Fultz will seek further opinions in his shoulder before returning on the court. A decision in the organization left to Fultz and his representatives. Fultz used to be a number 1 overall draft pick, for them, and he lost the ability to carry out and follow through with the long jump shots. He just haven't been playing well. And me personally, I just felt like with the Sixers, they need to trade him. I think
you gotta let him go, man. Look at how a lot of these young boys coming out playing, man. Like, they take advantage of a little bit of time. Like, what's my man name? The guard from Atlanta, the starting guard for Atlanta.
With Trae Young?
Trae Young, he kills it, man. And then go over to the backup guard for New York. He come off the bench and then he's liable to put up some money. Like, you got a lot of the young boys that come in the game and they take advantage over, and even Malik Monk. He come in the game and he's going to take advantage of the little bit of time that he's going to get. Markelle Fultz, though, he started at one point and didn't take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Why not trade him? You know what I'm saying? Why not trade him? I can get more out of the veteran J.J. Redick, and I can get more out of him in 10 minutes than I can get out of Markelle Fultz in 10 days? You know what I'm saying? So, and the boy can't shoot a free throw for nothing.
Yeah, how you pump fake a free throw? I'm not understanding how you pump fake a free throw. That doesn't make sense to me, one. Number two, T.J. McConnell been playing better than Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it a stack there. He been playing better than him. And Markelle Fultz lost love for the game.
Yeah.
I think he really lost love for the game. I understand you had an injury and you didn't play all 1 year, and then you finally fully healthy, and all of a sudden you have a shoulder injury. But even before the shoulder injury, you wasn't playing well anyway. So I don't really think this is a big factor. I think the Sixers just need to get rid of this guy. I think they shouldn't have drafted him number 1 overall. So
but you know a team that's actually is trying to take him? Cleveland.
Cleveland can have him.
Yeah, and to be honest, he probably fit better with Cleveland than any other team.
Right, but the thing about it is, even if another team does get him, right, what passion would he have for the game?
Exactly. Because I mean, for real, like he has no confidence in his game. No
None.
confidence in his game whatsoever. He has no confidence in his shot. He like period. You know, like me personally, I don't care who I play with. I don't care who I'm on a team with. You know, that's why I like Jason Tatum so much because regardless of who he was on the team with, he got that much confidence in his game. He made himself stand out. You know,
Right.
that's what he do. He gonna make himself stand out. You know what I'm saying? And Markel Fultz, like, you know, like he's one of them. Like he's one of those. Like I'm never gonna be known in this league anyway. So that's the type. You know what I'm saying? Like he in the way.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
he all the way in the way right now. You know, and it's sad too because he actually had potential to be that much better. You know.
I agree. I really do agree. But um, let's get to this. We have some more saga with Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi Leonard and Greg Popovich. Now, Toronto Raptors star Kawhi Leonard responded Sunday to a recent criticism by San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich about his leadership in saying the comments were funny to him, saying they were funny to me, quote unquote, and insisting that he is a leader. This is from Kawhi Leonard. I guess this is the quote about it, or I think it's from Greg Popovich. He said, "I heard about it. It's just funny to me because, you know, I don't know if he's talking about last year or not. But I guess you won't stop playing and they won't stop playing and they forget how you lead." Leonard told reporters in Toronto that other than that, it doesn't matter. I'm here with the Raptors. My focus is on the season. What's not going on the other side? But before Sunday's game against the Bucks, Popovich asked about the importance of the point guard Patty Mills' leadership in the wake of Manu Ginobili's retirement and Leonard trade to Toronto, and he provided a blunt as assessment of Leonard, saying Kawhi was a great player, but he wasn't a leader or anything. That's what Popovich told reporters in 2014. Told the reporters of 2014 NBA Finals MVP, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, and Manu and Patty were the leaders. Kawhi talent will be missed, but the leadership wasn't his deal at that time. That may come as progress, but Manu and Patty filled that role last year, and LaMarcus Aldridge came a long way in regards also. Wow. I'm not gonna read the whole article, but
Well,
this is getting out of hand right now.
well, let's just say how it is. At one point in time, it was so much tension with them. Like, I don't think they even liked each other. Because, for real, Kawhi could have played a lot more last year, but he didn't. He could have played a lot more than what he did, but he didn't, you know? But at the same time, though, like, Kawhi Leonard didn't carry a leadership role on that team. You know? It's just like, all right, what as good as he is, you know, and I'll put Kawhi Leonard in the category of the KDs and all of that, you know. Now, with KD, what as good as KD is, KD still don't carry the leadership role in Golden State, but he's known as arguably top 5 player of the league, top 3, you know. Kawhi Leonard, he's the same way, you know. I mean, he didn't carry really a leadership role on that team, you know. And for real, I understand what you're saying about Ginobili. I mean, but the thing is, Ginobili old though. Ginobili probably been there since Jesus played with Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Ginobili went. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that right there, that's sorority right there. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody from sorority gonna carry the leadership on that team. You know? And then like, I mean, Patty Mills, I don't know about that. You know, but I mean, I could see it. You know, because even right now, if you watch how San Antonio play, you know, Patty comes off the bench, but he still carries a leadership role in that team, even with him coming off the bench, you know. So, like, to be honest, I think with them two right there, I just think that, I don't know, like, I think they just, it's something that's deeper than that they got something against each other, you know. That's why I think the whole, the Kawhi leaving, I think that was something that he had against Popovich, you know.
Yeah, I feel as this, right? I feel as this. I think he did that to himself. Kawhi did this to himself, in my personal opinion. And why I say this is because you had a chance to play.
Yeah.
You had a chance to play for the Spurs. And you pull this out and you do this ridiculous thing, right? Where you want to get a second opinion and you want to believe everybody else that you're around in your camp. If you know you're 100% and you didn't play all last year, how am I supposed to feel that you were a leader?
Exactly.
You weren't a leader you weren't a leader while they was out there playing every single night. You sat on the sideline with an injury that probably was fully healed at last year.
Exactly.
So I mean, I don't blame Popovich for coming out and saying that, but it shows what Kawhi said. It's funny to him saying that he wasn't a leader. I completely disagree with that. But that's just something for another time. But we got to get into the last topic of the NBA. Your guy, Dwight Howard from the Washington Wizards, has been in allegations. I don't even think it's a transgender woman. I think it's a guy that's in drag. Because from the community and the sources that I have, I'm hearing that this person is not a transgender woman. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing this is from a guy that's dressed like a woman. So I actually have the story on my phone right here, and it goes kind of far back. So it goes from the allegations about Dwight saying this is what the person said that I was afraid to speak, but today my life was threatened after I was sexually harassed and threatened and manipulated by someone I respected. My ex-boyfriend, NBA player Dwight Howard, and his camp also catfished by a disrespectful ass pastor. So it goes into the story where she says, or I guess he says, but I'm gonna say she because it looks like a transgender woman. That's what it looks like from here, from the pictures that I see. It says that I met Dwight a while back at the Wildin' Out. That's one. At Wildin' Out? This goes back a little bit far.
And it's crazy because I actually seen a clip of that episode today. And when I seen that clip, certain things started to make sense. But keep going.
He said, so she said, Wildin' Out to be exact. We made eye contact, and a week later, he was in my DMs. I'm used to dealing with celebrities, so automatically I told him to hit me from this Fista, which was his fake page, so our convo wouldn't get leaked. I mean, he's a legend, quote unquote. Then it goes into the conversation started escalating to news being sent and escalated to me blowing his mind and calling me every night on Instagram video chat. Just to let y'all know, on Instagram, you can video chat someone. You can video chat someone in the DMs on Instagram. So that is absolutely correct with that. I don't think that is not a lie. So of course I was interested. I kept it real with him and he kept it real with me about everything except one thing. I wonder what that one thing was. I wonder. But I'm going to get on to the story. So she says, fast forward, I'm finally face to face with Dwight. After that day, from my understanding, we had an understanding. So I'll just upload the screen record just here in case y'all decide this team to lie. So what she did was she put up a video of him in the DMs. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's like a little video right there of the conversation when they was on Instagram. So it goes into the next part of the story where it says, fast forward, he is the reason I was unable to travel to every game, but every night he'll call me and pretty much say the same old, same old. So there's an audio to this that I am about to play for y'all to see what y'all want to hear from this.
let me say that, you know, you don't have a reason to be feeling like is your life in jeopardy, you know, talking to me, and vice versa. I don't want to feel like that. I don't.
So that's another part of one of the audios. So it's another part that comes up. But what it says is that, so I found out that he's basically sleeping with someone else, and here is how it went. So this is the someone that the transgender prostitute that he also had a understanding with, and I thought my good sis was a prostitute, but my friend took it as deeper in looking into her page. She actually hosts transgender sex parties. The Dwight Howard allegedly often attends. So yes, I lost every bit of my mind.
So I think that the same way that you're saying, like, okay, you're confused. I am too. So it's like, you know, I just want to.
So I guess is that what's going. I don't know what this means right now, but it says so. This is where this. So technically the story begins where this is where the story begins from his camp, from Dwight Howard's camp. One day he started getting private calls that he was told that it was Dwight, and I entertained it for a couple conversations, but it turned out it was not Dwight. I began to be stalked and harassed by a person for days. Even I got a call from Russia. Calvin worked for Dwight, and Calvin began to irate and be disrespectful and homophobic as I continued to deny the hush money. Said that I wasn't going to sign a NDA. He tried to insult my intelligence, trying to tell me that Dwight doesn't know me, and I never spoke to Dwight despite meeting him. So Calvin and Dwight's camp begun to tell me things that we know where you at, we are watching you, we saw what building you came out of, even as deep as telling me you need to go find a new residence. So at this point, I am afraid for my life. I am panicking. I'm having anxiety attacks. In a whole week, I was bullied by Dwight's team, and Dwight Howard stood there and allowed his team to harass me. It called me a faggot in a wig when Dwight is a 6'11" bottom. Now, if y'all don't know what bottom means, for anybody that's watching, bottom means that Dwight is not giving, he's taking. Just to let y'all know what bottom means. Bottom means that he's taking and he's not giving.
Now, after you just said that, I want all of y'all that's watching this, okay? As soon as y'all done watching this, I want y'all to go on YouTube, all right? www.youtube.com and look up that episode of Wildin' Out that Dwight Howard was on. Just look it up, all right? Watch the episode, you know? Because it actually stunned me today. Like, and I don't even know how I came across it. Like, I wasn't even searching for it or anything. It just, like, the joint just popped up on my joint, and I'm like, what? So, it would explain some things to you, you know? And to be honest, like, with this situation, this ain't a rumor. This is not a rumor. This is some facts. Like, I feel like this ain't, nah. It's too detailed for a rumor.
Yeah, it's definitely too detailed for a rumor, and for the proof for Dwight Howard to have this, so she know his camp and all that. So just to see that happen, I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. And the last thing that was said was, this morning I woke up to a text saying you're a dead man walking and you're playing with fire. I have no idea who sent it, and I found out from a reliable source that it was allegedly by Calvin, a dangerous person, which is a dangerous person and a hypocrite. I want you guys to know that I already contacted the police if anything shall happen to me. This is the truth, and this is my proof, and I don't want you guys to ever stop fighting for me in what is right. Dwight Howard is heartless, and he has the power to stop all this, but he won't. End of story. And it's just, I believe it. Like, just what my guy said. Go to YouTube and go to that Wildin' Out with Dwight Howard on it. and look at the eye contact that Dwight Howard does with that person. So for all of y'all that's on here watching this, definitely go look at that. But you know what shocked me? When that person said that Dwight Howard was a 6'11" bottom.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, because just to let y'all know, I'm into life as well. So with that being said, I've seen the most toughest guys be bottoms. So with that being said, it shocked me because it's an NBA player, but it's natural for the community that I'm in.
But the thing is, though, it didn't even shock me because he's an NBA player, you know? Because a lot of athletes, put it like this, a lot of people in the limelight, they live an underground life that's in the dark, you know? When situations like this, they try to make them sign an NDA, or what I think that's what it's called, NDA or whatever, a non-disclosure agreement, whatever. So, you know, what they do in the dark won't come to light. You know what I'm saying? And like that's basically, I mean, that's like this situation right here. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that he's a basketball player, like I say, like it's a lot. It's very, very few athletes that has came out, you know, and pretty much spoke on their preference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I said, like, you know, like this ain't a rumor. You know what I'm saying? Now, me personally, like, I could care what anybody do. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, like, if you real about it and you straight up, man, hey, I respect you. I respect you more than you just trying to go out and whoop 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 and acting like that you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
If you like, say like if you like a big Kimbo Slice, that's his name, Big Kimbo type dude. You know what I'm saying? And you acting like you the most gangsters dude in the world, and behind closed doors, you a bottom. Nah, I ain't got no respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Be you, be what you, be real, man. At the end of the day, just be you, be real, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like with this situation, like I said, like, you know, like that's why, like, I seen people like joking about it and just as not, you know what I'm saying? I understand, like, yeah, it was. I guess it was a hell of a joke. Me, very, like, I didn't find it trying like funny or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's that man business or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the white, like, it's like I said, this to me, this ain't a rumor. This is true, and I just feel like the white should just he need to come out with his public service announcement. He need to come out with his statement. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like people gonna respect you more if you be real with yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, like, but like, I don't know, man. Like this, like put it like this, man. Shorty ain't gonna put nothing out. Like, I don't think like that.
The fact that he got call logs, you got Dwight Howard's DM. Like Dwight Howard's DM on Instagram is verified. Like you don't really get a lot of verified people on Instagram these days, you know. So.
And I just seen an article. I was like, while you sitting there reading the article and everything, like I just sat here and looked it up or whatever. And I mean, like you said, call logs, everything, screenshots, everything. You know, you can only Photoshop so much. You know what I'm saying? You can only Photoshop so much.
I mean, the way things are, the way technology is, you could do audio, but I feel like I don't think it was fake audio. I don't believe so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, I don't know, like people still ain't. I mean, let's talk. Why Dwight Howard's not playing right now? What was his injury?
Right.
You know?
Right. You really can't explain his injury report. You know what I'm saying? You really can't explain why he was hurt. You know. So.
I mean, they say there's something is a butt injury. Technically.
Oh my. Oh man, we gotta get to the next part of the segments here, man, because we got a lot of stories to talk about, especially coming up in the NFL. This story.
YouTube and look up that episode of Wild Out.
Facts. So Let's just go straight into it, man. The story came out saying that Le'Veon Bell bitter divorce with the Steelers was years in the making. Technically, the relationship between, Le'Veon Bell and the Steelers, is still alive, but the team own his rights, so they could only place him in a transition tag on him for the rest of the season. But me personally, I don't see that happening. I don't see, it's been 2 years since the negotiations, and it's just been a lot going on with this whole Bell situation. Now, my thing is this. Now, it just seems weird. Like Le'Veon Bell's locker room remains untouched in the first 10 weeks of the season, and now play was able to look at his locker and all that. But a lot of tension built up all year with this whole situation here with Le'Veon Bell. And Le'Veon Bell is just going off like, listen, I'm ready to come back, but if y'all not gonna pay me, then I'm gonna stay away. And that's, I think, what he did, but I think he hurt his stock going into next year. So, what do you think about, this? Since we wasn't able to put that video out of what team y'all think he should go to, but it's plenty of teams right now because a lot of running backs are down. So, there's a lot of running backs that could need a Le'Veon Bell right now, but as according to sources, they saying that the Raiders with him in Vegas would make sense. I'm a Raiders fan. I'm not too sure about that. If we don't have an offensive line, do not pick up Bell. Simple as that.
What team? I mean, he did mention the Colts.
He mentioned the Colts?
He did mention the Colts.
Huh.
Which immediately that takes. No, I don't think that takes running back out the picture.
It kind of. I mean, it don't, because you always need a two-headed backfield.
Yeah, and I think that put now what's the other boy named Hines? I think that completely taken him out of the picture, and they use Maryland McAvoy as a screen back.
Right, I agree.
So I mean, can I see it? I don't know. I don't know, man. Like Le'Veon, I understand where he's coming from. Because for one, you ain't gonna mention my name as one of the top 3 running backs in the league, and ain't gonna pay me what I'm saying, with the other 2 above my name. Or,
right. I agree. Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Pittsburgh showed that. I mean, Pittsburgh showed like we technically don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, before we get in here, I'm about to add my brother to the chat if he brings his chair over real quick, because there's a lot to talk about with the NFL. Power rankings, I definitely want to get into that. Because I want to know what these power rankings are coming into this. So, because it's going to be a lot to talk about here. I have to throw my brother in here to talk this shit.
What's good? What's going on?
Well,
how you feeling?
So, we about to get into this because, I mean, it's not really too much to talk about with Le'Veon Bell in this whole situation.
Well, can I say something about the Le'Veon Bell situation real quick?
Go ahead.
I know the 2 teams that they was talking about, but you know who could really use him? Like, who ain't got no backfield, like, that really can't run for real? It's either, I got 3 teams that could use him. The Eagles for the screen game, because he's a great personal coming off the screen. The other team I was looking at, if they get their line together, the 49ers, if they can get their line together, and maybe the Seahawks. Because that's what I was thinking. Like, they some teams that they can actually really use him.
That's interesting. That is interesting. The Seattle Seahawks for Le'Veon Bell?
That will open up so much passing for Russell Wilson. he won't have to. They won't have to pass so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even say Green Bay can use him. for real.
Well, I mean, Green Bay, I like the way Aaron Jones is actually playing right now. I like the way he's playing right now. Let me try to slide you over a little bit because I know the camera can't see you on YouTube
It's
for
cool.
some reason.
It's fine.
But as far as that whole situation with, I don't know, because like they ran Marshawn Lynch down to the ground
Yeah.
in Seattle. I mean, he was that guy, but they ran him down to the ground.
But they was a much better team when they had a quality running back.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. Chris Carson is all right. Mike Davis would be the better running back if he stayed healthy.
But they ain't no Le'Veon.
But you know,
They ain't no Le'Veon, but it fits their running style. See, with Le'Veon is he's a power back, but he's not a power back. You get what I'm saying? He's more of a finesse to try to maneuver his way through the line. But as far as a power back, that's what Seattle Seahawks are. They're power. That's the only thing. Like, as far as him being a Seahawk, it'd be tough because he's not a power back.
but if you think about it too, but could you think about it? If they run, say if they can't run, but they need to open up a running back out in the flat where everybody else is covered, he's good for that.
Yeah, he's good for that, but that's only using him in one dimension.
Yeah, but they longer block, he can still look. The Texans don't have a real good. They don't have a superb running line. Look what Lamar Miller did.
Well, look, they upgraded their offensive line from last year.
Yeah, even Lamar Miller was still good last year. But you said even with an average O line, Le'Veon Bell could do damage with an average O line.
I don't think he could, because Pittsburgh never had an average O line.
Pittsburgh O line not that good. They okay.
Well, look at what James Conner is doing. I mean, just look at it.
Yeah, that's just the
We'll put
running.
it like this.
Yeah, but James Conner could do both. He could catch the ball at the backfield and he could run the football.
That's why they
We'll
don't
put
need
it
him.
like this, though. Miami's O-line was average when Jay Ajayi did his thing that year. They didn't have a monster back then.
But think about it. He was more powerful than Le'Veon Bell too. Le'Veon Bell can't break a lot of tackles.
But Jay fumbles a lot.
That's the only issue with Jay Ajayi. He has a fumbling problem. But as far as Jay Ajayi being in Miami, you could not run him over. You could not tackle him. You could not tackle him high. You could tackle Le'Veon Bell high.
Yeah,
And
you can.
that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as power, like that's my only issue with Le'Veon in this whole situation, that he's not really a power running back. Like, when you need that 3rd and 2, are you going to hop, skip, and a jump just to get into a hole? Like, what are you going to do?
You got a point there.
So that's my only, issue with the Le'Veon Bell situation. Like, he's worth the money. It depends on what team he goes to be worth the money. So I want to go through these power rankings. Oh, you got something to say, bro?
It ain't too many teams right now that's working with a power back.
I'm not saying like power back on every down, but if you look at the tandem in New Orleans, Kamara's not really the power back, but Mark Ingram is. You get what I'm saying?
But Kamara's kind of strong himself.
He's strong himself, but why do they take Kamara out in the red zone at the 1 yard line? Because you have Ingram, that's a power running back that can score that for you.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my. You see what I'm trying to say there? Like, if he do go to Seattle, who's going to be that number 2 back under him? I mean, Chris Carson and Mike Davis is there, but I just don't know. See, when he said Marlon Mack in Indianapolis, now that makes sense. That makes more sense than he is in Seattle. With the Eagles, it makes more sense, but the Eagles' problem is they pass him too damn much now.
Because Adams not really established yet, so they just work to him now because they don't have no running backs. They got to use him.
This is my issue with that. Y'all saw
He takes advantage of the little bit that they do use him, because the boy,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. The ball, all right. Don't get me
He
wrong.
came from Notre Dame.
He's all right, but when Ajayi went down, why wait so late to utilize him? Because y'all thought Corey Clement was the number one back?
I would have been using him.
That's my issue with Philly.
But they put Clemens and Smallwood above him.
Exactly, and I did not agree with that.
You notice when the Eagles got a power back, they can move the ball.
LeGarrette Blount was a prime example of winning the Super Bowl last year. That prime example. But that's just another topic for another time.
Yeah.
But we got these power rankings. I'm only going to do like the top 10. Because I think, matter of fact, let me see how far I can go. Let me see how far I can go down with these power rankings. Because it's a lot of teams probably outside of this top 10 that could probably still make the playoffs. Like the Ravens, Cowboys, Colts, Panthers, Okay, I might stop. Let me see who else. Wow. This is interesting. This is an interesting power rankings. I'm gonna stop at 20. Because I think nobody's going to try to make it after 20. So right now, you have the Saints as number 1. You got the Rams at 2. Chiefs at 3. Patriots at 4. Chargers as 5. That is your top 5 teams in the power rankings of Week 13. Then you got the Steelers at number 6. They dropped 2 spots. I don't understand why the Bears is not in top 5. I'm not understanding this.
Because
look at the teams that are top 5.
Because you got the Saints, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Chargers, and the Patriots. That's why they all went in their division.
Me personally,
Besides the Chargers.
But you notice, like, I just feel like right now, my personal opinion, I think the Bears are better than the Chargers right now. And that's only with Trubisky.
They have a better defense. Chargers got a better offense, though.
Depending on the week. Because one day you could have Keenan Allen go off like crazy. The next day he'd be nonchalant.
But just this past week, though, it wasn't Keenan Allen. It was Mike Williams.
And Mike Williams is just as inconsistent as Keenan Allen.
I mean, that's because
they played the Cardinals on top of that too.
But that's how the Chargers do, though. Like the Chargers is really stacked with wide receivers, but they don't use them all. Terrell Williams, they don't use him. What's the other man named? What's his name? Travis Benjamin.
Yeah, Travis Benjamin stayed hurt though.
Mike Williams was a beast for Clemson.
I mean, the Bears should be. I mean, you got the Bears at 7. Then you got the Texans at 8.
I'll put the Texans before the Bears.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I would agree with that. You got the Vikings at 9. They moved up 1 spot. You got the Seahawks. Seahawks made the top 10 at 6-5.
I think that's the last 6-5 team.
No, it ain't. Because you got the Ravens at 11 with their 6-5. Cowboys at 12. They're 6-5. The Colts at 13 at 6-5. And then the Panthers drops 5 slots out of the power rankings to be 14 at 6-5. But this is mind-boggling to me. How the Redskins are number 17 at 6-5, when the Broncos is 5-6, and the Packers are 4-6-1.
That's kind of like favoritism. Certain people that's making these power rankings.
Knowing Dante is a Washington Redskins fan. How do you feel about that, bro?
Don't nobody like to see the Redskins.
I'd rather see the Redskins than over the Cowboys.
And then, tell you the truth, while we bullshitting, Philly beat us. They liable to come out in the NFC East.
That's what I was saying. We was talking about that yesterday. I was saying, if the Cowboys lose to the Saints and the Eagles win against the Redskins, who knows who's going to win the NFC East now? Like, it's still up for grabs. Like, nobody is solidified or set themselves apart to say they're going to win it. So it's really a game or two, or really a piece to really win that division. It's really close.
Yeah, the NFC East is really up in the air. They are really up in the air right now. So
Really
it's like,
thing wrong with Philly is they damn near their whole defense is hurt.
Yeah, their whole secondary is demolished right
They
now.
still got some tough games ahead of them.
And what's
Out of 52 dudes, probably a good 49 of them hurt.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm trying to tell you, it's going. Listen, if one more cornerback get hurt, they're going to mess around and start putting wide receivers back there.
Yeah.
Golden Tate going to turn into a cornerback.
Right. I listen. It's so much going on. It's oh my God.
Because
This
I think
Eagles. I tell you.
I kind of think if a lot of them ain't get hurt, I think the Eagles will have a little bit more wins if a lot of them didn't get hurt. Because when the Eagles can run the ball, they can pass better. But when they can't run and gotta just be one dimensional, it shows. It shows they cannot move the ball. They barely beat the Giants, like barely.
If that team wasn't hurt, it wouldn't been no question of who would have came out the East. It would have been more of a question of which team from the NFC East was going to make the wild card.
Yeah.
Right.
But if Philly was healthy, it wouldn't have been no question.
Yeah.
Because the only reason they started off slow, I mean, of course, my man Wentz came off the injury. So, yeah, you're going to expect the man to just start off slow, you know? But as soon as he started getting back, everybody started to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
See,
like,
I was at the point where if Wentz would have messed up this Giants game, I would have started Foles the next one, because Wentz was really looking bad for a while. And I understand because he's coming off the injury, but you can't keep making the same mistakes every game.
because now it's too late in the season to keep on making mistakes.
Exactly.
But one thing we know about Foles, Foles done won that ring.
You sure did.
That RPO offense is the best offense for Nick Foles because he utilizes it so well.
Yeah.
So well. And I think the only reason why I can't say Foles is a little bit better than Wentz, but I can say Foles has stepped his game up when he needs to.
Yeah. Yeah. He has that veteran mentality, man. Like, you know, that's what, like, all right, with my Redskins, people can say what they want about Alex Smith or whatever, yo, but he knows how to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
what
course.
He was doing, that conservative plan, like, he knows how to win, you know?
Yeah, because I remember he was on my 49ers.
Has that in him.
Yeah, he was on my 49ers. Oh, I know. He was on my 49ers. I know he definitely know how to win.
Like, Colt McCoy, I don't know if he has that in him the way that Nick Foles had it in him. Because Nick Foles, he knew how to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at when he was with Philly the first time. And he had to step in for Vic. You know what I'm saying? He came in gunslinging. Like, he came in slinging that thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
At one point, wasn't he like 27 touchdowns to like 5 interceptions at one point when he went to the Pro Bowl that one year?
Like,
Yeah.
He was balling, man. You know?
You just got to give Foles the right type of offense. If Foles was to ever be a starter again, he would have to have the right pieces and the right offense for him. If he had the right pieces and the right offense, that man will excel. You just can't put him in any offense. He has to be like if he go with Schwartz, it'd be the perfect offense because he excelled with Schwartz offense play calling last year. He excelled with it. So you send him over where Schwartz at, oh, he gonna ball.
Yeah.
But anybody that's like-minded like Schwartz, he's gonna ball. But you just got to make sure he's in that right type of offense. And I think that's where Wentz has to get used to now because he's not in that type of offense. And I think Doug Peterson's been a little bit more passive than aggressive because I think he should be a little bit more aggressive. And that's why I think the Eagles are losing games because he's calling too many soft plays.
Yeah.
Last year, you seen the Eagles, everybody was getting the ball. The ball was flying everywhere. Now it's like you see like the same 2-3 people get the ball. Everybody getting the ball. You have to. That's just like not to bring up basketball, but you got a point guard. The quarterback is the point guard. You got to distribute the ball to everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So once it's the point guard, he's the leader. So he got to make sure that ball gets to everybody. Okay, just because you don't have a receiver with 100 catches, that don't mean nothing because they won the Super Bowl without doing that.
Right.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, I want to go to let me see what the rest of the power rankings is looking like. So what we was on, the Eagles and the Packers, Redskins.
You want to start from the top?
And then you have no, we already did the we did it. So 18, they moved up 4 spots. The Cleveland Browns, they are in the top 20.
Love it, man.
But I'm trying to figure out how they're over the Eagles. And the Eagles are 5-6, and they're 4-6-1.
Well, I mean, this is from the NFL, and I just feel like, honestly, if you think about it, you gotta think about it. They were previously ranked behind 20. The Browns was 22, Eagles were 24, and now they're 18 and 19.
Yeah, they did.
So it's close to neck and neck, and they going up the Browns because like the Browns is playing good football late.
To be honest, they've been playing good football all year.
Yeah, they finding ways to win.
They got players now.
Yeah, they found the way to win. They let my man go. You ain't gonna get no better way than that.
Now we're just trying to beat them top teams that they have to play.
Yeah.
I mean, they tied with Pittsburgh, and they beat.
Mess around and beat Houston. Oh man, I'm a Cleveland fan.
I'm already a Baker Mayfield fan. I've been with him since he been in Oklahoma.
My man, hey, Nick Chubb.
Oh yeah, he a beast.
Right there.
But you know, I like. Don't get me wrong, I love Nick Chubb, but I like Sony Michel.
But right now, Nick Chubb is outplaying Sony Michel right now. He's outplaying him.
You know why? Because you know how many running backs New England uses? They use like 3 of them.
Yeah, but Sony Michel is the prime time back, but he just Nick Chubb could catch the ball at the backfield. Sony Michel wasn't like that in college catching the ball at the backfield.
He was more of the screen guy than Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb was the power back there at Georgia.
Is
a back that plays for the Patriots that's going to outrun any other back in the league, man? I guarantee. Wait till make Patriots make playoffs. I guarantee they got a running back that ain't nobody ever heard of.
It's always like that. Because before I heard of Lewis and White, when they got to the playoffs, I'm like, who is these dudes? They balling out of nowhere.
Man, we know about them though.
Right. So I mean, I'm not gonna go too far into these power rankings, but I do agree with the first top three power rankings. Saints, Rams, Chiefs.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
4 and 5 can be debated.
Who's 4 and 5?
4 and 5, you had I think the Chargers was at 5, and who was? Let me see. The Patriots was at 4.
Okay.
So you could debate those last 2 spots.
You could debate that.
Especially the way the Bears been playing and the way the Texans been playing. You could put them 2 teams in the top 5 as well.
As long as Bill Belichick and Tom Brady in the NFL, they always gonna be. I don't care. They record could have been what 1 and whatever. Put them in the top 5. For real. They, in the sad part is Roger Goodell. He hates them boys. He hates them. He can't stand them for nothing, man. But they still gonna be up there. They still gonna be there.
All right, let's talk about this, man. Andy Dalton.
Bum.
This guy definitely put a thumbs up for him because he's horrible. He's all right. So for all y'all that don't know, that Andy Dalton is on IR because of a thumb injury. You know what that really was? It wasn't a thumb injury. Marvis Lewis was like, your ass is benched for the rest of the year, and we're going to put Jeff Driscoll, whatever his name is, in the starting lineup now because he gave y'all 20 points last week and could have came back and beat the Browns if he had more time.
Hold up, ain't Ben Roethlisberger playing with wasn't he playing with a messed up thumb all year?
Aaron Rodgers been playing with a bad knee all year. Okay.
Come on, dog. You getting paid millions and millions of dollars a year. You talking about a thumb?
A thumb. That's like LeBron James going out saying, I ain't playing because I got a jam finger.
Right.
So what are we going to do with Andy Dalton? Do y'all think he needs to still be in Cincinnati?
No. I think that's the only team that wants him.
This is my thing.
They ain't get rid of him yet.
This is my thing with Andy Dalton. He plays better when AJ Green is in the game. He can't play without AJ Green, and it shows.
But
'Cause-
AJ Green coming back this week.
Yeah, but who's on IR? Andy Dalton.
But they also did sign Tom Savage too, though.
Yeah, they
Yeah, but Tom Savage is not gonna get that start.
No.
He's not gonna get the start.
did.
So
Probably
we
a
are.
week after.
If Driscoll plays well, right, and he plays to the potential for them, they could possibly win a football game. Do you really think Tom Savage is going to take his starting spot? If you look at the last couple games that Driscoll was in, he took that offense down the field when they benched Andy Dalton.
Yeah, that's true.
They were getting blown out, 28-3
But let me ask you
to
a
the
question.
Browns, and
Let me
then
ask you a question, though. What's the real reason Cincinnati losing? It's not their offense. Their defense is terrible.
no, it's their offense. Their offense can't
They
get.
defense
Their offense couldn't
been
get a.
terrible.
The whole team is terrible for real.
It starts with honestly, it starts up top. The owner. Because how in the hell is Marvin Lewis still a head coach there? How?
Can I bring something up? That's a good point. How did Lovie Smith go to Chicago, right? Go to the Super Bowl and get fired, but whatchamacallit's over in Cincinnati and hasn't been fired yet. He's a coach that took a team to a Super Bowl, even though they lost. He gets fired, but the coach of Cincinnati is still there.
That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I don't get that.
It doesn't make no sense whatsoever on why that Marvin Lewis is still there.
Now, I'm going to tell you what needs to happen right here. Because since Jaguars has been to my man Blake, they might as well send Blake over to Cincinnati and send Andy Dalton over there to Jacksonville.
But you know who would be the better team? Jacksonville. Because Blake Bortles stink.
Yeah.
Jacksonville stinks. Blake Bortles is a bad quarterback. So we're just going to skip Andy Dalton situation.
I'm surprised Blake Bortles been over there as long as he's been over there.
Jacksonville is just falling apart, y'all.
Falling apart.
They're falling apart. And we want to get into Leonard Fournette's suspension. One game suspension.
Speaking of Jacksonville, man, let's talk about this Leonard Fournette thing, man.
Before you go in, I want to go in and say, if Leonard Fournette was on the field and he started that fight between him and Shaq Lawson, I would understand it. But the fact that you were not on the field for this play, you ran off the bench to go fight Shaq Lawson, which was a player on the field when the play happened, you deserve to be suspended. You can't either Shaq Lawson or Leonard Fournette. You can't do that to your football teams in that magnitude of a game.
Well, I can't be really mad at Shaq Lawson because he was more trying to defend himself. Because Fournette was really trying to swing on him. And so Shaq Lawson was really just like, oh, you going to hit me. I'm going to protect myself. So you just not going to beat me up. That's how I looked at it.
But if you look at the footage, right? What are you going to do with both of your helmets on? How y'all going to punch each other in the face with both of your helmets on?
Leonard Fournette, it came off.
I mean, it came off because Shaq Lawson pulled it off. But if both of the helmets would have stayed on, both of y'all hands would be broke right now trying to punch a helmet.
Leonard Fournette, you got to learn how to keep your cool. I know the game, your adrenaline rushing. You just got to learn how to keep your cool. Things going to happen.
Yes.
Come get your stuff out the washing machine.
All right.
Things is going to happen. So you got to be able to keep your cool. Everything is not going to go your way. So you got to be able to keep your cool. Because if you winning the game and y'all up by 3 and there's like 2 minutes left, then you pull that stunt, and the next thing you know, your team lose. Then that's going to be in your head like, damn, I got to keep my cool because I could have been on the field and could have kept that drive alive.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
What is going on with the NFL right now? So now, I know I told him earlier that Reuben Foster was picked up by the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, I seen that.
So now, another one came up saying that Reuben Foster is placed on commissioner exempt list. Foster is not permitted to participate in Redskin practices or games while the commissioner exempt whatever. So, what was the point of the Redskins picking him up if he can't play?
Because we some damn fools. And we need to get rid of Bruce Smith.
I just don't understand it. But going back to what the Leonard Fournette situation.
The only good thing that came out of that Leonard Fournette situation is he got me 20-something fantasy points before that happened.
Oh my God.
So for real, I accept the apology that he just put out there on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I think he should accept if you put an apology on Instagram, I hope he did that to the organization as well.
I think he need to apologize to the organization and Shaq Lawson.
I don't think he should apologize to Shaq Lawson. He should apologize by his actions and what he did to help them, lose that game, because it was a good catch by Moncrief. Don't let the Leonard Fournette fight stops the fact that Moncrief had a hell of a freaking catch to get that before that fight happened.
He apologized strictly to the fans and all the kids that was watching.
Yeah, because you had a nerve to be out of what, almost 6-7 games, to come back and have the game that you have, and put yourself in jeopardy to mess up your hamstring again because you want to fight. No, that's just I don't condone the fighting, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But in Leonard Fournette's behalf, that's different.
Oh,
that's different. We're not going to talk about college football just yet because the college playoff rankings do have to come out first.
what time
that comes on at 8 o'clock.
All right.
So
I got a question for y'all right there. All
what's
right.
up?
My man Joe Flacco is supposed to come back. Would you start him, or would you keep my man Jackson in?
That's a good one.
I would keep Jackson.
That's what I would say, because the way that the offense, the team is rallying around him. And now even though he's not a passing threat, but he tears teams down by the way he runs. So now you got to really watch out for because now you think he's going to run every play, and then he throws it on you, and then y'all confused. So I kind of think he brings a better element, especially when it comes to the no-huddle offense, the speed, the break down certain defenses. Don't get me wrong, Joe Flacco is a veteran. He's been there before. But I think they got a new spirit with Lamar Jackson. You kind of see it in they play a little bit.
And I think it's the right spirit that they need, right now,
But my question is this now. They play Atlanta this week in Atlanta. How are he's going to feel with that hostile environment in Atlanta? That's my own. To understand the defense.
We're going to see if he starts first.
Honestly, I want him to start. But if he doesn't start, I'm not going to tell my picks out on live, because wait for that. We're going to do that later on. That will be uploaded tomorrow. So definitely keep a lookout for the week 13 picks. But
I tell you, I picked Atlanta.
So did I. If that's the case, then if you I'm picking Atlanta as well. I do like the defense for the Ravens.
I'm going with the Ravens.
I just feel like Matty Ice they're going to turn it around this year.
Even though I got 2 of their players on my fantasy, I'm just going to go with the Ravens.
Yeah, so I'm taking. It's something in my gut telling me to take Atlanta.
Only if Lamar Jackson starts, I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Yeah, that's even with Lamar Jackson starting, you still would take the Falcons.
Yeah,
they can't stop the run.
Yeah,
the Falcons can't stop the run.
You know why? Because that Baltimore-Oakland game, Baltimore ain't pull off until the second half.
What you think the Falcons normally do? They don't start playing to the second half.
My point exactly. That's our main point.
So, but what if the Ravens start playing in the first half and beating the Falcons? The Falcons can't come back. But
according to the Baltimore Ravens, if you really look at their road wins, it's not really nobody they played.
Really, nobody's really good this year besides 4 or 5 teams. Everybody else is really average for real.
I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, it's just funny how they have the number 1 defense in the league in total yards, but you're 6-5.
Because most teams, they don't get blown out. They lose by little points. That's why.
I understand that, but you're 6-5 with the number one defense in the league.
But you gotta think about it. If your offense can't score, your defense stay on the field longer.
But Lamar Jackson played the last 2 games.
And they won the last 2 games.
Yeah, and they still gave up points.
And for real, another reason why I'm going with the Falcons is because they need this game so bad. I mean, they took 3 losses back to back to back.
Close losses. There wasn't like no blowout.
They should have never lost to the Cowboys.
Browns, they should have never lost to the Cowboys. You know, the Saints. I mean, I thought that game was going to be a little bit closer, and to be honest, that wasn't even too bad. 31-17 ain't like a blowout type game. You know what I'm saying? And then the Browns. I mean, I don't think nobody predicted that was going to go away.
I actually had the Falcons in that game.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like they I don't know. In Atlanta, I don't know. I can't. In Atlanta, man. But if Lamar Jackson plays and he get off, that's a pick that I sacrifice right there just to see. That's a pick. I'd be happy. I'd be happy with him getting off. You know what I'm saying? Picking that wrong.
They better bring Michael Vick back over there.
Atlanta is the perfect team for him to run. You know what I'm saying? For Lamar Jackson to run on.
They better bring Michael Vick back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, is any other topics y'all want to talk about before we end this live here? We've been on for an hour. We've been talking a lot of sports, a lot of stuff been going on. So, if anybody want to get their final thought out, please do so now.
I'm going undefeated this week.
Oh, hell.
I know I say that every week. You know, I got high hopes, man. I'm going undefeated this week. If all y'all watching, pick the Skins.
Who the Skins? Oh, no, I can't say that because they playing my boys. And if this was any other team, I'd rock with you, but they playing my Eagles, so I can't say that this game. I got to rock with the home team.
My bold prediction is, in my final thought, that the Oakland Raiders will be blown out by 62-3 this weekend against the Kansas City Chiefs.
You say 62-3?
62-3.
I got my 49ers winning.
It would be a college football score by the time the Oakland Raiders have to go into Arrowhead and play them.
Oh yeah, they playing the Arrowhead.
62-3, my Oakland Raiders would lose. Period.
I'm taking the Eagles 24-20 over the Redskins. 24-20.
I need my man to get that winning mentality in him.
Only because Colt McCoy is now. If Alex Smith was playing, I wouldn't call it, but since Colt McCoy playing, I say 24-20.
See, one thing is this though, like
I think if Alex Smith was playing,
I think Colt McCoy have a better chance of beating the Eagles than Alex Smith.
I don't know though, because like our defense, Dallas killed our defense. That's why we lost that game.
But the Eagles don't have Ezekiel Elliott either.
Huh?
But the Eagles don't have Ezekiel Elliott either.
The only thing I'm afraid of is Adrian Peterson running on the goddamn Eagles. That's what I'm afraid of.
If he can stay on the damn field.
I mean, you know the man like 100 and something.
But he still run like he like 25.
Yeah, he can still run.
I don't understand. Like age don't bother him for some odd reason. He was hurt. He came back the fastest out of nowhere and ain't been hurt since. Like,
yeah.
I want to know what he doing.
The only, I think one of the only advantages that we really have is Colt McCoy would throw it up the field more than Alex Smith would. Colt McCoy would launch that train. If he got a chance to, he gonna launch that thing. You know? And with Phillies, I would just say secondary, but with they damn near they whole defense hurt, man, like that might end up being a problem. But at the same time, though, we still talking about Philly, and I think every Redskin fan have a respect level for Philly. Every Redskin fan, like I never met a Redskin fan that didn't have that respect level for Philly. You know, so
I'll tell you one thing: I ain't got no respect for Dallas. I got respect for Redskins, but I ain't got no respect for Dallas. Not 1% at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping New Orleans beat them. Like I hope this be 100-point game.
Yep.
Team score 100 points.
I hope Mark Ingram can run like 400 yards on him.
So there y'all have it. Hot topics with Dante, Darian, and Darren. The triple D's, as you say. Pause. But thank y'all for being on the live. I just want to give a few shout outs to the people that was actually in the chat. Finisher Sports, boys from D, I don't know who you are. Nakia, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Wasn't a lot of people on the live tonight, but they'll look at it later. We'll see y'all in week 13 picks. We might go live again. Who knows? We might do our DraftKings picks live. College football playoff. You know, we got to talk about that as well. So comment, like, and subscribe to the Spotlight Sports Talk. And we see y'all in the next video.